Today our topic is how to manage anger like a Stoic. Anger is a natural emotion, but if we let it control us, it can ruin our relationships, our work, and even our health. The Stoics, ancient philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, believed that anger is a destructive force that comes from our own judgments and misunderstandings. They taught that we can manage anger by changing how we think and by practicing self-control. Let's explore how we can use their wisdom to handle anger in our daily lives. First, we need to understand what anger really is. Anger is not something that happens to us from the outside. It is our reaction to what happens. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you might feel angry. But the Stoics would say that the anger is not caused by the other driver. It is caused by your thoughts about the situation. You might think that driver is rude and selfish, or they don't care about anyone else. These thoughts create the feeling of anger. The Stoics believe that if we can change our thoughts, we can change our emotions. So, the first step in managing anger is to recognize that it comes from within us, not from the outside world. Next, we need to practice self-awareness. This means paying attention to our thoughts and feelings before they turn into anger. When something happens that upsets you, take a moment to pause and think. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What thoughts are causing my anger? This pause gives you a chance to calm down and respond more thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. The Stoics called this the pause button for the mind. By practicing this pause, you can prevent anger from taking control. Another important Stoic technique is to remind yourself that you cannot control other people or external events. You can only control your own thoughts and actions. For example, if someone says something hurtful to you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to stay calm and not let their words affect you. The Stoics believe that most of the things that make us angry are outside of our control. By accepting this, we can let go of the need to control everything and focus on what we can control, our own reactions. The Stoics also taught us to practice empathy and understanding. When someone does something that makes us angry, instead of judging them harshly, we should try to understand their perspective. Maybe they are having a bad day, or they are dealing with their own struggles. By putting ourselves in their shoes, we can see that their actions are not always about us. This understanding can help us feel less angry and more compassionate. Another powerful Stoic tool is to remind ourselves of the bigger picture. When we feel angry, it often feels like the most important thing in the world at that moment. But the Stoics would remind us that life is much bigger than one moment of anger. Think about how small this moment will seem in a week, a month, or a year. By focusing on the bigger picture, we can put our anger into perspective and see that it is not worth losing our peace of mind over. The Stoics also believed in practicing gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, it is harder to stay angry. For example, if you are angry because someone was rude to you, take a moment to think about the people in your life who are kind and supportive. Think about the good things you have, like your health, your family, or your job. Gratitude helps us shift our focus away from what is making us angry and toward what brings us joy and peace. Another key Stoic practice is to prepare for challenges in advance. The Stoics call this premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This means thinking about the things that could go wrong in your day and how you will handle them. For example, if you know that a certain person often says things that make you angry, think about how you will respond calmly before you see them. By preparing in advance, you can face challenges with a clear mind and avoid being caught off guard by anger. The Stoics also believed in the importance of self-discipline. Managing anger requires practice and effort. It is not something that happens overnight. You need to train your mind to stay calm and focused, even in difficult situations. This means practicing patience, humility, and self-control every day. Over time, These habits will become stronger, and it will be easier to manage your anger. Another Stoic idea is to reflect on your anger at the end of the day. Take a few minutes to think about what made you angry and how you handled it. Did you stay calm, or did you let your anger take over? What could you have done differently? By reflecting on your actions, you can learn from your mistakes and improve over time. The Stoics believe that self-reflection is a powerful tool for growth and self-improvement. Finally, the Stoics taught us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. This is one of the most important lessons for managing anger. We cannot control other people's actions, but we can control how we respond. We cannot control the past, but we can control how we think about it. By focusing on what is within our control, we can let go of the things that cause us anger and find peace in the present moment. In conclusion, managing anger like a Stoic is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It is about understanding where your anger comes from, practicing self-awareness, and choosing how to respond in a calm and thoughtful way. It is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. It is about practicing empathy, gratitude, and self-discipline every day. By following these Stoic principles, you can learn to manage your anger and live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Remember, anger is a natural emotion, but it does not have to control you. You have the power to choose how you respond. With practice and patience, you can become the master of your emotions and live a life guided by wisdom, courage, and inner peace.